Hey guys, Eckhart's here with the video I have been meaning to do for a while. Today we're talking about the top 5 most powerful Force users. And this list is going to be contentious, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think down in the comments. And I just want to say there's a good chance that your favorite character might not make the list. So you like Darth Vader a lot? Well, he's not on the list. Same with Darth Revan, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace Windu, and lots of others. And just for the record, guys, I'm not including Abeloth or the ones in this list. I just think it'll be more interesting if we keep it to characters that people are more familiar with. But just for the record, they would have been number 1 and 2. So number 5 is our little green friend, Yoda, the one and only Grand Master of the Jedi. And at least up to the time of the Clone Wars, Yoda was the most powerful Jedi that the galaxy had ever seen. And that's confirmed in the Revenge of the Sith novelization, where it says that Yoda is the fiercest and most devastatingly powerful foe the darkness had ever known. And I mean, Yoda's power is evident. He's got extreme wisdom and has chosen to lead the Jedi Order at one of the peaks of their power. He also goes toe-to-toe with Darth Sidious, who, spoiler alert, is also on this list, albeit a little bit higher. Yoda's most powerful asset was his use of the Force, and this came through hundreds of years of study. And this allowed him not only to effectively fight and move around, but also to do more abstract things like to see the future and to sense what is going on in the mind of others. In conclusion, Yoda's natural Force abilities, his dedication to the Jedi Order, and his almost unparalleled level of wisdom make him the 5th strongest Force user of all time. Number 4 is Darth CAEDUS, also known as JACEN Solo. And JACEN is a total badass. He fought Expanded Universe Luke and didn't lose by a huge margin. And what's most interesting about JACEN is that he's basically a philosopher and a scholar. He's always trying to find out new information about the Force and improve as a Force user. He also trained and fought extensively both as a light side and a dark side user, allowing him to basically utilize all aspects of the Force. Solo was able to see the future with more clarity than other Force users, and through his study and through his continual improvement, he actually at one point became one with the Force. And he was actually so powerful that he was able to use the technique known as flow walking to see the past and the future basically at will. Had he not been killed, perhaps Darth CAEDUS could have been the most powerful Force user of all time, but I mean, even at his relatively young age, he was able to do extremely advanced techniques like the ones I mentioned, along with others like battle meditation and advanced mind manipulation. All in all, he was an extremely powerful Force user and the 4th overall in the expanded universe. Number 3 is the Sith Emperor, also known as Vitiate. He was not only the 2nd strongest Sith Lord in galactic history, but also extremely well dressed. And Vitiate's interesting because he gains most of his power through Sith rituals. And probably the most notable one is where he took an entire planet and severed the connection of the Force from every inhabitant, killing many of them, and basically feeding off their energy. And this allowed him to survive for an extreme amount of time. And really, probably the biggest reason he's ranked so highly on this list is because he's just so durable. Not only is he hard to kill in his physical form, he could also take over the minds of other people, essentially possessing their bodies. Essentially an embodiment of the dark side of the Force, the Sith Emperor was able to survive for over 1,000 years. However, all that being said, I don't think Vitiate is the strongest Sith Lord to ever exist, and there are a few reasons for this. And the first is that he doesn't quite have the same scale of offensive power as the top 2 Force users. The second is that the Sith are very good at passing on knowledge and basically operate through the mantra of survival of the fittest, so it only makes sense that a Force user who came after the Sith Emperor could be more powerful. Which leads us to Emperor Palpatine, the 2nd strongest Force user of all time. And I mean, people who have watched the movies kind of get an understanding of how powerful Palpatine is. I mean, Darth Vader himself bows to him. However, if you haven't read the expanded universe, you're not getting the full idea of just how monstrous this guy was. He could summon Force storms to devastate entire fleets of ships basically at whim. And I mean, these aren't just small ships. He destroyed an Eclipse class Super Star Destroyer, which I ranked in my top 5 spaceships video to be the most powerful ship to ever exist in Star Wars Legends. I mean, Palpatine is so stupidly powerful that after being killed, he was sent to the Star Wars version of Hell, which is called Chaos, which of course he subsequently was able to escape, and after his final death was only able to be kept there through the efforts of many, many deceased Jedi Knights. Sidious, in my mind, is kind of like the anti-Yoda, because while Yoda always remained pure. Sidious never had a pure moment. He's not like Darth CAEDUS, who started off as a Jedi and eventually fell to the dark side. He's more like Vitiate in that he was always evil. He's also a scholar, and his mastery of the dark side of the Force was completely unmatched. I mean, he could dominate the mind of Darth Vader from across the galaxy and give him orders. He was so evil, so powerful, and so knowledgeable that he was pretty much a stain on the Force, and he could only be defeated by one person, and that is number 1 on our list. Number 1 is, of course, Luke Skywalker. And if you've just seen the 3 original trilogy movies, you might be wondering, well, Luke didn't seem that powerful. I mean, he did a backflip on one occasion, but not much more. Well, in the expanded universe, Luke is basically a god, and George Lucas himself, the god of Star Wars, said that Luke was the strongest Force user to ever exist. So let's start with some of Luke's physical feats. Luke once stood so still that it was said that not even a black hole could move him, and that's almost like a joke, an unmovable object versus an unstoppable object. Luke was that unmovable object. He did things like hold Darth CAEDUS with the Force, who we already talked about how strong he is. He could also heal people instantly, help people deal with pain, and he actually communicated with every single Jedi in the galaxy at once. Luke has some other crazy feats. He took Emperor Palpatine on after his rebirth one-on-one and succeeded. He traveled to the realm of Beyond Shadows and defeated the entity Abeloth, although he did have some help. He was able to teleport objects large distances, cloak entire ships through the power of the Force. Like I said, Luke is basically a god, and he has no match on this list. Perhaps Abeloth or the Ones could defeat him. I'm not sure. He did beat Abeloth barehanded, although he did have some help there. So that's it, guys. My top 5 strongest Force users, as brought to you by the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Let me know, as I said, what you guys thought down in the comments, whether you agreed with my list, whether you disagreed with it, whether you're pissed because I didn't include your favorite character, whatever. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't, and please subscribe. It means a lot to me and it really helps me out. I'm also going to put an Amazon referral link to one of my favorite Star Wars Expanded Universe stories. So if you guys want to support the channel a little bit more, click that link and buy something. It doesn't have to be the book, it can be something else, but any little bit helps me out. If you don't want to do that, I totally understand. Thank you so much for watching, guys, again, and as always, may the Force be with you.